Okay, thanks everyone. I'm gonna wrap this quick. Sorry for having kept you waiting for over 5 minutes. So the topic of our discussion today is the great real estate market reset that's coming. Buyers and sellers get ready. Kind of subtitle, we'll be looking at sub-interest at interest rates and cap on foreign students intake. So here's my agenda. Actually, what is reset? The topic is resetting the market, but what is reset? We're going to look at what really happened and what's going on. We're going to look at why reset. Why should we reset the market? What are the expectations of buyers and sellers? What attitude should we bring ready for the reset? And we're going to look at new rules of engagement, know your rights and responsibilities. So this is kind of a bonus for this webinar. We're taking the first upper part and then deal with a bonus for for the webinar. So with that agenda discussed, we're going to kind of think about something. So I know everyone, when you get into Canada, maybe you're leaving your parents' home, you should be doing something. You have to rent somewhere. So I want to take you guys, I want to pick your thoughts on the following survey. So the recent survey has it that renters are more likely to have lower quality of life than homeowners. I didn't do the survey, so don't hold me on this now. So, okay. So the next one is Toronto renters had lower life satisfaction than others in Ontario. Again, this is from Statcom, it's not from me. And the last one is Toronto renters reported feeling lower sense of belonging to the community. So I know at some point every one of us needs to rent a home somewhere. And then you can see this survey is coming from here and there, and to say that this is actually how renters are feeling. But keep in mind that everyone at some point must rent. But why the reason I'm bringing this to us is that yes, you have the right to rent, but don't do this more than is necessary. When it's necessary, only you can determine when it's necessary. Some people say, I don't want to rent or I don't want to buy home, but you can see the psychological impact of actually being a renter. So let's get this started. I don't want to bore you with this. Let's go to the Great Reset. So what is reset? Hello? What is reset? I'm hearing a background noise. Is it my voice or someone is playing?
Kingsley has to mute his. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, okay, please. So what is reset? Reset is of a person to start again after a period of reset, change, so that you feel better able to deal with your life or with the situation. So there's no life issues in this case, guys. We're dealing with a situation in the real estate market, and then we want to address this. So with this period of uncertainty, difficulty that I'll be discussing, we want to reset our mindset, have a different mindset. So, and that is why we're talking about this great reset. So we're going to see where we're coming from and where we want to be at and what is inspiring this move. So what happened that we need to do this reset? Now, if you look at the Canadian Real Estate Association sales from 2014 to 2022, you can see the trend. And I want to bring your attention to 2021, or rather 2020, when COVID hit. So COVID hit, and then we see before COVID hit, prices were already going up here. Okay, and when prices prices were going up, and all of a sudden we went up to 2021 with that scenario. confusion, and still people were still buying anyway. Why? Because we are going to see how interest rates help people to buy, despite the fact that we're in a difficult health condition period. So, and when that COVID hit, the impact thereof now began to be felt in 2022. You can see the sporadic drop here in 2022. And then we started dealing with money that government shared and they could not bring back. The money inflation kicked in, and then sales began to kind of dwindle because of high interest rate. So 2024, these are projections, but we're going to see how the actual numbers. It was projected that in 2024, there would be like 51,000 homes. But in the course of our discussion, we're going to see that this might be more than expected, and we are going to see what will be driving those changes. Now, for information, where we're coming from is that this is a chart of Bank of Canada's overnight rate, interest rate from 1935. So if you think we are here, 2020, and you take a look back from 1935, here, let's assume that this is about 2%, 2.5%. Okay, now we're getting to 1960s, it was 5%, 7%, past 1960, start going up to approximately 1970 to 7%, close to 10% in about 1979. And that was when the global doom happened. And you can see in 1980 how interest rates went up so high. So in retrospective to now, you see how far we've gone. So when we think about, we've been dealing with high interest rate, what about the scenario in 1980? What about the scenario in 1989? These are, if you remember, the economic meltdown of 1990 was this. That was most recent. In 1980, 79, 80, 81, interest rate was like 21%. So you can see whenever any spike is recorded in the market, that it takes time to recover. So all you are seeing here are peaks and valleys, recovery, go up, and that is why we are discussing the cyclic nature of the events in the real estate market, and that's why I'm bringing back this resetting. So whenever there's a spike, the market will adjust. After a few years, the spike will come back. After some years, it will go up, come down again, go up. So let's go back to let's come down recently to 2020. So in 2020, before the COVID hit, we were here. So I'm going to take you beyond that. So this, I just showed you from 1935 to 2020, and we can take it. So I just wanted to give you an idea of where we have been. So when people say, we are dealing with high interest rates, at only 5%, we are crying. But what happened? How did those people who lived in Canada or own houses in Canada in 1980 or 1990, how did they feel? So that's why I'm bringing this to you for sake of record purposes. Now, as part of what happened that we're dealing with, that we want to have a change or have a reset attitude. We are coming from in 2017, okay, here. I think I'm going to show you another slide, but in 2017, government tried to deal with the fact that prices were going so high, and they introduced the 16-point housing plan. So the 16-point housing plan came with a lot of difficulties in getting mortgages. Stress test was imposed, a higher qualification, and people were crying. And this is what happened. So other things that happened was that COVID came in, you all know and still remember how COVID dealt with everyone. Even though the interest rate was low, people were dealing with that horrible situation. Would I live or will I die? Okay, now we went through erratic months of inventories. MOI means months of inventories. When I'm going to show you another slide, when we talk about months of inventories, what we're referring to is how long a property will be in the market before it gets sold. So it's been erratic, and that is what we use when we qualify the market to say, okay, this is a buyer's market or this is a seller's market. So because we keep going, this inventory statistics keep going up and down, it becomes erratic and then becomes a challenge to everyone. So what also happened was the fact that inflation was 8.1 in June 2022, and with the plans government put in place, they wanted to fight it and try to bring it down to the threshold where they are comfortable. The government's threshold of inflation is 2%. So by the time it went up to 8.1, there was really serious problem and there was serious concern. So with the measures put in place, they decided to increase interest rates, and they felt that increasing interest rates will bring down inflation. That's actually is paying off, but everyone has been so affected by that, and that's why we are doing this to say what do we do now that the government is saying that the inflation numbers is being fought and the conditions are coming down a little bit. So what other things happened? The interest rate we're talking about, they hiked it. I'm going to show you the impact of the interest rate and the price and home prices. Now, with what happened, we saw power of sales. Power of sale means when someone cannot pay his mortgage, he's interested in letting go his house, or the bank will acquire it, or the lenders will say, okay, since you cannot pay your mortgage, we are taking back your house. So that's power of sale. So we see that happen, and it's still happening now. Now, there's this confidence that in the market that was lacking. People were not comfortable coming to the market to actually trade or actually do any transaction. So we see difficulties in people that purchase the pre-com not being able to close those transactions. And these are tough situations, tough conditions, and that is why we are thinking about resetting and you being able to reset actually. Now, we also saw developers holding off new project launches. Why? Why would the developer hold off project launch? Why? Because a lot of people are not buying. If you list a property or if they launch a condo development, for example, and they realize no one is buying it, so there's no point. So that's why developers decided to put off new project launches. Other things that happen include they started giving incentives, they meaning developers. They started giving incentives for you to purchase. Some people really took advantage of these incentives, but some people were really scared and didn't even go into the market. Now, what about high sale prices? Now, we also see that whenever the government dropped interest rate, high prices go up. And then we have that feeling, that FOMO effect, the fear of missing out. So the fear of missing out actually was one of the reasons why a lot of people went in to purchase before the interest rates went to the roof. Now, other things that happen include fluctuating inventories. You see, let's use sellers, for instance. When the interest rate started going up, some sellers were not confident to sell, to bring their properties into the market because they felt like, oh, if my neighbor could sell his house 1.1, maybe 1.5 million, why should I sell mine for less? So because of that, some sellers could not, some owners could not want to bring their properties to sale. So inventories began to decline. Now, in some cases, we see, in as much as some sellers are not bringing in their properties for sale, in some neighborhoods, there were bidding wars. So bidding wars, a lot of people were scared. They don't want to go into bidding war scenario. Some that went into bidding war situations, some paid up to 500,000 above asking price. This is crazy. But we're going to see on the bonus what I talked to you about, how government has decided to tackle bidding wars, and then some disclosure that will come into play to deal with these situations. Buyers and sellers market, talked about that before. Buyer market is when there are lots of inventory that could last up to 4 or 5 months before they are sold. Sellers market are opposite, when you see maybe between 2 to 0 months the property is sold. That's when we talk about sellers market. So the market was get fluctuating and causing some difficulties to people. And that's the situation we're coming from, and that is why the reset becomes necessary. Now, you listen to the news, you heard that government banned foreign buyers from entering the market. Now, this is a political thing, but we don't want to go into politics. But the point is that foreign buyers were banned from buying real estate properties from 2023 to 2024. Now, that 2-year ban has been extended to 2027. So the government felt that the foreigners were coming in to cause the high price of homes in Canada. Now, we kind of did some research and we saw that really this ban is unnecessary, because the percentage of foreign buyers in the core trading areas in British Columbia and Ontario. In British Columbia, according to 2022 report, the percentage of foreign buyers in BC was about 7.4%, while in Ontario it was only 5.8, which means that in every 100 in Toronto and Ontario, for instance, there will be only 6 foreign purchases. In BC, it was only 7. So what's the point? So, but again, that's government decision. So now you also heard about the capping the foreign students intake. Now you ask yourself, okay, the foreign students have been contributing to the economic growth of Canada. Now, when you bring students here after they graduate, they're not staying. Canada has become a great destination for talented people and a good place to live. So by government capping this, it means that yes, even though they want to fight the lack of quality homes, competition in the market, now they are causing issues, they're creating issues for foreign students. But all this are being done in good faith, according to them, to tackle the housing crisis. Because when you limit the number of people chasing very limited number of homes, they think that yes, they will be solving the housing problems. So that's where we're coming from. These are the things that happen. So besides the bidding wars, these cap on students intake, power of sales, high interest rate. Now we're also dealing with assignment sale, distress sales, not assignment sale. Assignments is one of them. I'm just going to come back to that. So we see distress sales as a challenge, being part of where we're coming from, which we want to reset about. So you see people who purchase. This is a property in Mississauga. This guy purchased this home for 1.446 million. Call it 1.45 million. Now he's selling it for 1.227 million. So he's losing money. So a lot of people are losing money because of the conditions of the market, because of the high interest rate, difficult getting funding and stuff. So another problem that we are going through that we want to reset is this: assignment sales. Assignment sales, because of from some people who are able to close their pre-con properties, they want to sell. So these are the things that when we reset, we'll be preparing ourselves when we go over to how do you prepare yourself for that reset, for that market that is resetting. So we're going to see how we can take advantages of these assignment sales and then see how we can buy into the market. Now, don't forget, while I've talked about the fact that government is capping the foreign intake, students intake, our population is growing. What are the factors that drive economic growth? People have to come. Okay, economically, we have to grow our economy, and people have to live somewhere. Because Canada, the population is growing. By 2022 census, we are over 40 million now. So where are the houses for people to live in? There's really a shortage of housing. There's housing crisis in Canada, but then since we are talking about where we're coming from, it's also important that we discuss the impact of population in a development in a developing, or rather a developed country. People want to come here, but they have to meet the housing challenges that are here. Some people come in here, they cannot get a place to stay in, and that's actually why government is trying to cap foreign students coming. So our population is growing, and these are some of the things that are happening that we want to reset. So why reset? We are resetting because confidence is gradually coming to the country, coming back to the market. Inflation numbers now is at the Bank of Canada's expectation. Like I said before, the Bank of Canada's expectation is 2.2%. So now the inflation number for January was 2.9, which means that yes, we are gradually coming to that position where the comfort level is established. People want to go back into the market, and if things are all being equal, meeting the 2% inflation rate, a lot of activities will come into the market. So we're also resetting because statistics tells us so. We're going to look at a chart to see why and how we are confident that yes, the reset has to come in. Now, the era of high interest rate is over, and we are going to, for some months or years, we're going to see interest rates come down. But how are we sure? We're going to see some quotes. Sales are coming up, and more activities are coming to the market. The recent market stats for the Greater Toronto area showed that January 2024 saw an increase of 37% in home sales, which means activities are gradually coming to the market, and then the confidence that I spoke about is actually coming back. Now, this is the great chart that I have for you guys to look at. Now, I didn't go back to 1935. I only started from 2019. So let's pay attention to the blue dots versus the red dots. So you can see the impact of interest rate. Now, in October 2019, the interest rate was approximately 1.7. Okay. Now, what happens when government consistently hold that interest rate? Now you can see they held it up till March 9, 2020. And when government keeps holding the interest rate, even though people thought it was high then, before, remember, this is before COVID hits, people were doing normal trading, normal transactions. Now, COVID hit early 2020. Okay, the government started reducing interest rate further from 1.7. So at that point, the interest rate was about 0.25. Remember, this is government overnight lending, not the market. So not the bank rates. So every bank uses these rates to actually hike or determine their own interest rate. So, but you can see, where is it? It means that here the government held this overnight rate from April 2020 up till February 2022. Okay, and you can see the effect. That's the impact I was telling you about. When the interest rates are low, people will take natural advantage of that. And you can see prices keep going up, keep going up, keep going up, keep going up to the peak, February 22. And what happened? Once the government started increasing the interest rate, watch here, see what happened. The prices started coming down. For every increment, it goes down. For every increment, it goes down. So there were 8 consecutive increments up till December 2022. And you can see, watch the interest rate here versus the price. Because it kept going up, prices started coming down. So now, when government eventually held the rates in January, from January 2023 up till June 2023, people get confident, because when they hold it, it means that, yes, we can really say, okay, there's no fear that the government might increase it again. But here's what happened. The moment they increased it again in June 2023, price start falling down, start coming down. So now the news of further raise kind of brought it down up to August 2023. Now from from July 2023 up till January this year. So they have held the interest rate. So whenever the interest rate is being held, they're this confident, okay, it's not going to go up anymore. So people will be like, okay, let me go check out, buy or not to buy, because whatever happens, people must live in houses anyways. So with this, we have been hearing that government will bring down interest rate. And here it's where we are now. Why is the prices coming down? Because they have not started to raise that interest rate anymore. They haven't reduced it. It's still being held. So, but what we are hearing now is that, yes, the era of raising interest rate is over. And that is the reason I spent some time on this, is to show you what happens, or rather how interest rate affects purchasing prices. So let's go to what we know, the expectations and what we are hearing. So now, having been to this point, interest rate being held for so long, and then now with speculations are out there that interest rate will come down, what are our expectations? What are we hearing? Now, interest rate cuts, that's what we're hearing. Although interest rates are going to come down, we also see that there's increase in housing starts. Housing starts mean the number of buildings that are coming up. Every year, government tracks the number of buildings that number of construction that will be started. So we are starting to see that in January 2024, housing starts picked up 179%. This number is compared to January 2023, when the interest rate was still high. So there are more activities in the market. First-time buyers will now start coming back to the market, as well as the investors, bidding wars are gradually trickling into the market in anticipation of these this reduction in interest rates. Now, this is with this position of Najod Al-Malek from Canadian Press. He said the central bank, which has been holding its key interest rate at 5%, has recently signaled its next move. That move is likely to be rate cuts. So, and we saw Trudeau the other day saying that based on the numbers of the inflation that came up for January, he believed that the Bank of Canada will be cutting rates. So these are what we are hearing, and we think we are positive that this will really change the status quo. Now, headline from Better Dwelling says that Toronto real estate sales surged 39%. Okay, this is divergent now. Some news have it at 39, but Toronto Real Estate Board has it at 37. Regardless, the point is that the sales are increasing. We're seeing activities in the market, but this has an addendum that says price fall further with robust supply. Robust supply, we haven't seen robust supply really. Robust supply is when a lot of people have brought in their properties for sale. That is actually when we feel the robustness of this supply. Now, what should our attitude be when we get ready for this reset? We've seen where we're coming from, the hardship everyone is going through. What do we do to get ready for this change in for this reset that's going to happen? So what you're going to do is to get educated, be in the market, get your realtor or the researching book, Googling, follow realtor.ca or Trev to see what's going on in the market, especially if you're thinking about buying a home. You need to be in the market for at least 6 months. Keep watching out what's going on. Then get a team of professionals, your real estate agent, your mortgage advisor, your lawyer, your appraiser, whoever. I talked about lawyer, some appraiser, an appraiser maybe. So these are people that will give you information on what's going in the market. Now, if you think you cannot buy, that your income cannot qualify to get something reasonable, you can body up. Body up means getting together with someone, maybe JV or co-ownership, to buy a home. Why? Because you saw the impact of people who are renting. You cannot do that forever. So you need to body up or do that alone. So look for opportunities. Some corporations, some of the companies are getting loans, are helping people to purchase their home when they don't have up to 20%. Example is Arbor. Arbor is one company which we are happy to partner with, and they help people raise their down payment for buying homes. Then look for opportunities. You can look into district sales. You can look for assignment sales. A lot of people cannot close, so they want to really cash out and then suffer the consequences. So these are the opportunities you should be looking out. Now you're getting ready for the reset. Now, know your rights. Know your rights. We're going to talk about the bonus I talked about initially. Actually, the webinar should have stopped now, but I wanted to give you some bonuses for you to go home today with, and what these rights and responsibilities are I'm going to share that in a few minutes. Okay, now before sharing that, I want to bring to your notice where we are now. So look, follow me from this. In 2021, the average home in the Greater Toronto area was $966,000. The average home, meaning all types of houses, townhouse, detached, and semis. So the average price was $966,000. In 2022, it went up to 1.2. Now, this is where the interest rates really started going up, and you see the impact in 2023. 2023 January, it was 1,036,000. Now this is 2024 January, it's now 1.026. So you see the impact here. We enjoyed low interest rates, and average price was 1.2. Now we've been having a high interest rate. It's been prices are coming down. So this is actually the information that you need to let you know when is it that you should be going to the market. Now prices are low, but someone may ask, okay, but if you advise me to buy now, how will I get how will I qualify for higher interest rates? The point is that based on what we know and based on the opportunities that I spoke to you about, the speculations, that the statistics that the Bank of Canada is going to reduce the interest rate, you should be getting yourself ready to buy in this market now. So with the prices coming here, you're at 1 million from 1.2 2 years ago. It means that there's opportunities and you should be getting ready now to buy into your new home. For condos, you can see in 2021, average condo price was 600. Now it's 680. It really went up in 2022, but in 2023, it was 687. Now, January 2024 is 681. It hasn't really shifted a lot, but then there's 0.8 reduction in sale price. So with that said, let me share you the bonus that I have, and which is on the new rules of engagement. The real estate market transaction is changing, as well as the market dynamics. So, but as the government deals with the changing market, they are also bringing in legislations to deal with these changes. And what I want you to know, whether you're a buyer today or you're selling your own home tomorrow, or you're a homeowner, you need to understand this. The government has the Real Estate Council of Ontario has updated information guide for buyers and homeowners. What is contained in this guide is the rights and your rights and responsibilities, what you should be aware of. The guidelines is to show transparency in the real estate transactions, protect homeowners and sellers, and then the guidelines talks about representation. You can decide to be self-represented. If you can say, hey, agent, I don't need you agents, which some people do though. But the point is that you need to get educated to know if you're going to represent yourself, what are the pros and the cons. Now, there's issue of multiple representation, which you should be aware about. Multiple representation means that, let's say me and Glory, we are team members. So we can tell you, hey, Mr. A, while we're representing you, we're also going to represent Mr. B. So it's legal, it's legitimate. So, but now there are some specifics and changes which everyone should be aware of. Okay, then the duration of representation. When I sign a buyer representation agreement with you now, instead of holding you for 3 months, you can say, hey, I don't want you to hold me for 3 months. I don't want your broker to represent me for 3 months. Let's do 1 month. It's your right. So that's what we are bringing into your focus today. Now, when you're holding offers, you should be disclosing some areas of that offer that multiple offers bring in. So there are 2 major areas of these changes. One is that you can opt for a designated representation. Like I've talked about me and Glory being a team, you can say, hey, I don't want Steve to represent me. I want Glory to represent me. So you have a choice to do that. Then the number 2 is to disclose content of the offers. Like I just mentioned a few seconds ago, when you go into multiple competing offers means that when you're selling a property, three people are interested in it, and you want the highest bidder to take it. Now you can disclose to the other party whatever you feel comfortable doing. So that's the choices, that's the right that you have. So with that, I say thank you for joining us this Saturday morning. Please connect with us in social media and refer us to someone. I will also ask you to ask some questions. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Round of applause. Well, good job. That was a good presentation. I want to just open the floor for anyone that had any questions.
I just
yeah.
have one question, if that's okay. What is
Yeah.
record of city, please, and how do we get access to that?
What is what?
Record of city. You mentioned record of city or something. If you wanted to get a house like this in a particular city, we can get the records for the city.
Yeah.
And how does that play out though? So what is that, and how can we get access to that, please?
Yeah, if you want to get access, just send me. Okay. One is Rita.ca. You can, everyone has, it's an open platform. You can see any property that you like. If you go on Rita.ca, whether you're renting or you're purchasing, you can just, if you're renting, you click on rental properties. If you're buying, sale properties for sale. Rita.ca.
Okay, I see it. She put it in the chat. Okay.
Okay, Glory can put that in the chat, please.
So we can see it from realtor.ca. Okay, you're sorry to cut you off. You were saying, sir?
Yeah, you can find it from realtor.ca.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but the limitation with realtor.ca is that sometimes agents publish properties that are not even available for sale. So you might be thinking, okay, if I click on this property that you're going to see, some of the listings there are, or sometimes are fake, or they are sold, but there's an agent who is interested in in getting a lead from you. So just be careful. Other than that, if you engage an agent, there's no cost to you. All he needs to do is send you properties. Thank you. Next question.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it.
No worries. Welcome.
Someone that joined earlier had a question. He left, but I'm going to ask it. He said that he's heard when interest rates go down, the price of the houses go up. But when the prices of the homes go up, interest rates go down. So is it really a right time to buy a home? And then he asked like how true that is.
Okay, let's go to this chart. Okay, here. If you ask me when is the right home, we get these questions every time. When is the right time to buy a home? My answer is if you're ready to buy today, buy today. Some people want to always say, I want to buy when the market when the price is low. No one really knows when the prices will be lowest. But again, if you're looking at this chart, you ask yourself, should I have purchased when the price was 1.3 million? Even though the interest rate was low, because he's right. Yes, when interest rates are low, people have the tendency of purchasing and then going to the market. Yes, because they can afford it. But the point is that, remember, the interest rate is not going to be there forever. So a lot of people that purchased when the interest rate was like 1.7 here, 5 years after, they have to renew their mortgages. And when you have to renew your mortgage when it becomes due, you're not going to wait. You don't have a choice. So if you ask me when is the right time to buy, the right time to buy is now. Looking at this chart, you can decide for yourself. Would I rather buy now when the average home price is 1,036,000? Or should I buy when the average price is 1.36 million?
Yeah, that was good. I'll send him that response. after this. But if there's any more questions, either leave it in the chat or you can unmute yourself and ask away. I'll just give a moment for anyone.
I had a question. For Realtor.ca, is there any other alternative aside from that that website? Like, are there additional resources we could consult to try to learn more and search for property and just to watch the market and understand how it works?
Okay. There's Zolo. You can we also our website also has properties prices in there. Glory can share that website with you. We have Zolo, we have realopes.ca. You can also you can do. There's another one I forgot now. There's one that has right, that's kind of gives you home prices with this with the asking price. Whenever it's sold, you're going to see the price. But instead of you doing that exercise for yourself, you can get it and you can sign up with an agent to say, hey, I'm in this area. I'm hoping to buy a property in this area. Could you please be sending me listings? Just such a exercise could be done by us or by the agent you choose to deal with. All the persons need to do is to give you comparable market prices, and you can give you monthly updates on those properties. That's what you can do.
All right, thank you, sir.
For Zolo, I believe we would need to sign up with an account for that because I checked Zolo at one point and I believe you needed to be a realtor. You need to create it or just like a regular account. Correct me if I'm wrong, please.
The essence of okay. Zolo, you don't need to have to become a realtor, but they need your contact information. That's the email address, phone number.
Okay. So that makes it right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay.
Yeah, we're coming up on 4 more minutes. If there's no more questions, then we're going to end off here. If there is, you can cut me off. But thank you guys for tuning in to our first webinar of the year. By God's grace, we'll have more, so tune in. And if you're not following us on social media or our website, it's just the Easy Team on all platforms. And then our website, I left it in the chat, theeasyteam.ca. And we look forward to connecting with you guys, and let us know. You can email us or whatever, any questions you have after this, or just to talk about your real estate goals to see how we can help you and move forward for this year. Because again,
also add thank you for joining, and we appreciate your feedbacks. If we don't also let us know how we are doing. If there's anything we need to improve upon, we are ready to do that for you and make sure we keep in touch with you. So Glory, go ahead and finish.
Yeah, I was just gonna
Actually, I have one more question. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's about the main topic, basically the reset.
Reset, yeah.
So my question was, just to summarize, is the reset as a result of the expectation that the interest rates would be going down, or what is causing the reset?
Yes,
I'm just trying to, yeah. Could you please explain that part?
Yeah, the reason we chose reset is because of the fact that the interest rate is anticipated to come down, and once it comes down, there's a lot of activities we are going to see in the market, and that is why we're saying it's going to reset. So a lot of people who has been on the sidelines will be coming to be in the market. Some people will now change their mentality. Okay, I can now buy homes after all. So that's it. The topic, we chose the topic mostly because the interest we see the interest rate coming down, and we see the the fact that more people will be coming into the market.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, then. Thank you all again for tuning in. We will see you next time. We'll send you guys an update on when the next one is. And again, any more questions, you can email us at the Easy Team, info@theeasyteam.ca. And that is all for now. Have a great weekend and stay tuned for more. Bye, guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Anything you want to
Alright,
end
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh, you can end recording.
Oh,